Hello, students. We have already discussed the economic factors determining economic growth and development. Now, let's look into the non economic factors determining growth and economic development. Economic factors are necessary, but they are not just sufficient to bring about growth and economic development. Non economic factors such as human resource, social, political, environmental, and administrative factors determine economic development to a great extent. Now, let's look into the human resource. Human beings are at the center of the process of economic development. Human beings are both the cause and effect of economic development. They are the producers of wealth as well as its consumers. We cannot think of any development excluding the people who benefit from such development in the form of improvement in their living conditions. Precisely because of the reason that human resource development has been occupying a focal point in the growth process of both rich and poor countries. Human resources are used in economic activities as a factor of production called labor. Unlike other tangible factors of production, like natural resources and capital goods, services of labor are intangible. Laborers can be hired for wages, but their services do not last and they must be used instantly. The work rendered by a laborer cannot be separated from him. In this sense, labor occupies a distinct place among the factors of production. The organization of production requires the use of both physical and mental labor. Laborers help to produce the output and also act as the consumers, thereby creating the demand for the goods and services produced. The demand for labor is a derived demand. It means that laborers are hired for wages because they help to produce various goods and services which are in turn demanded. Expansion of employment opportunities depends upon improvements in agricultural and its allied activities, pace of industrialization, growth of infrastructure, progress of means of transport, communications, commerce, banking, and other services. As economic development gathers momentum, the demand for white collar labor increases more than the demand for blue collar labor. When we say white collar labor, it refers to clerical, supervisory, and executive personnel, and the latter refers to ordinary unskilled workers doing manual hard work. The supply of labor depends upon population growth. An increasing population means more supply of labor. Its effects on economic development will depend on such things as the pattern of population growth, the expansion of markets it brings about, and the pressure it creates on scarce resources as well as the capital stock. A relatively higher rate of population growth than economic growth will increase the supply of labor, leading to lowering of wages. Increasing labor supply may raise the demand for goods and services only if it is accompanied by expansion of job opportunities. Similarly, a higher rate of population growth will increase the pressure of scarce resources and limited capital stock in the absence of rapid industrialization and technological progress. An increasing population leads to more supply of the basic factors of production, namely labor. In the long course of the history of economic growth, population growth, the contribution of labor was considerable, and therefore it has been regarded as mankind's greatest productive asset. In this phenomenon of modern growth, with its characteristic rise in output per capita, however, this should be seen in a different way. A growing population almost invariably leads to an increasing total output. It also means that a greater number of persons among whom this output must be divided. Population growth has acted as a dependent variable in the growth processes of rich countries in past. It means that economic development was followed by increase in population with improved living and working conditions in industrially advanced countries. However, population growth has become an independent variable in the case of economic development of underdeveloped countries at present. In these countries, population is increasing at a rapid rate in spite of a very slow rate of economic growth. It is because of this reason that many poor countries are facing the problems of poverty and unemployment. Human resource development has been receiving greater attention in recent years from demographers, economists, sociologists, psychologists, and even statesmen. This is because it makes better use of men and materials. Proper and better utilization of human resources must always proceed according to well thought out planned programs. These are family welfare, education and health services. The family welfare programs should include planned parenthood, welfare measures for women and children. These schemes must achieve a reduction in population growth in underdeveloped countries and promote happy and healthy family life. The programs relating to education should spread general and technical educational facilities, compulsory primary education, and adult literacy schemes. The requirements of technical and scientific personnel for development purposes must be undertaken through careful manpower planning. All these schemes must aim at improving the quality, productivity, and social behavior patterns of the labor force. Increase in health and medical services would improve the quality of life and thereby contribute to raising productivity and larger output. Now let's look into the social factors. Social factors create essentially a set of conditions which are favorable to promote economic development. If these conditions are unfavorable, they actually retard economic growth. These factors and patterns act and react on economic, political, and administrative factors influencing economic development. The social factors like institutions of family customs, traditions, religion, superstitious beliefs, etc., influence the reactions of the people to change brought about by the process of economic development. The behavior reactions of the people are determined by psychological elements such as attitudes, motivations, thinking, etc., which determine the social behavior. The cultural patterns mold the character of the people, relating to the values and morals prevailing in particular societies. Economic development would bring about changes in social factors in the form of organization of family, interpersonal relationships, and beliefs. These changes turn out to be promoting agents in advancing economic development. Again, development in its wake may make the people to cultivate right attitudes and motivations, which create the necessary psychological atmosphere appropriate to achieve rapid economic growth. The cultural patterns which shape the character of the people based on certain values and morals determine such traits as efficiency, discipline, rationality, integrity in action and dealings, confidence, cooperation, respect for others' views, etc. These are highly necessary for industrialization, modernization, growth of scientific temperament, which are regarded as foundations of economic development. Next are the political and administrative factors. These group of non-economic factors are also capable of stimulating economic development. Stable political system, dynamic leadership, efficient government administrative machinery, and encouraging governmental policies are all conducive for economic growth. These, in turn, would ensure peaceful, normal, and certain conditions helpful to the growth of industry, trade, and banking services. Protection of life and property, speedy administration of justice, uniform currency system, standard weights and measurements, honoring business contracts, control of economic and social monopolistic trends in the economy, and a wide range of other duties and responsibilities very well discharged by the government and its bureaucracy will go a long way in promoting economic development. Many of the above these conditions are prevailing in rich nations. As a result, we can observe that their national incomes are comparatively higher and people in rich countries enjoying better job, education and health facilities. Whereas in poor countries, unfortunately, the political and administrative matters are not so stable, certain and efficient. Here exist many elements of inefficiency, delay, corruption, uncertainties in government and administrative systems and setup that are affecting smooth development process. Consequently, the changes underlying economic development are hardly undertaken and implemented effectively. So, this requires a greater attention in underdeveloped countries. Thus, a careful analysis of the causal relationships among economic and non economic factors and their interactions become necessary and very essential. So, in the next class, we will look into the various indicators or measurement of economic development. Thank you.